There's been times in my life, this is what, Christmas Eve, about to go to the bathroom again, uh, 2025. Some of my best talks I never record, and when I try, I go out of my way to do it. I just don't record them. I can't prop it up because I have no clothes on. I'm about to sit on the toilet, or I would throw my shorts. But there's been times in my life, even in high school, that I would have trouble saying no to people. And this, I'm not being mean to Travis. I guess what kind of inspired this is me hearing Taylor Swift say Travis is Travis Cleese. It's hard for me to say his last name. And I talk a lot and sing a lot. My voice gets really tired, and I don't do vocal rest. Travis, like your fiance. Um, um, I can understand the insecurity. I don't like being begged for things, begged for money. I didn't really feel like Dawn the other night deserved that next 20 after I've already bought her a phone card, new phone, just over. And I think it's pretty sorry of people to 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 force that upon you. Like knowing the common sense obvious that you're home by yourself, you don't drive, you've even shown symptoms of what you're going through. So I mean, y'all got to understand. In some cases, like Jonathan and Dawn, they're king and queens in their own narcissistic minds. I mean, they're Nigge Romeo rich, in a sense. Uh, White trash rich, white trash beautiful. Wait. I can remember when I was about, give or take, 16 or 17. Not long before Nicole's brother Bob got in trouble for hitting their mother Nancy in the back of the head with a frying pan and got arrested in Texas. I think it was on the front page of the Montgomery County newspaper. Mike Wallace. You probably didn't work there then, I don't know. But I remember being in the gymnasium. I don't remember what CD it was, but Bob was asking if he could borrow my CD for like 5 days or something. I think I ended up loaning it to him. See, I didn't like to loan out certain things, especially if I got the vibe that somebody wouldn't take care of it. I didn't like my CDs to get scratched, the cases to get cracked, even though they did just by me over the span of time of wear and tear. Oh, I ended up having a big CD collection for a while. Hell, the FCC probably got that. They probably got some of my data going back 95 or 96. BMG, Columbia House. I can't tell you what else. But to me, the average cost per CD on that was way cheaper. It's like you could spend 13 to 15 bucks for one CD at Walmart or in the mall. But then if you committed to a plan, it's like you could almost get them down to like 10. I forget. It'd be like sign up like for 1 penny. I don't know how it done it, but I don't know. It seemed like it'd average out to quite a bit cheaper, but you'd end up having to get more CDs. And then I was sitting over here, like at the age of 12, sitting over here before that brown wall was here and ordering music. I remember playing Zombie on my little boombox CD deal about the age of 13, 12 and a half, probably younger than 14 to Gladys, my grandmother, playing like the Cranberry Zombie and playing maybe a few Alanis Morissette songs. I don't know if I played any by Marilyn Manson, but she didn't like it. Uh, uh, I played a number of things to my mom over there. She had hey Alanis Morissette, but on some of it, she sounds like she squawks. She's actually squawking, you know. My mom loved Elvis. She loved the Beatles. Look at them. They all time carrying them little trailers. It's crazy. I mean, anyway, um, 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 Anyway, just think of the Dawn I dated, 2013, 2014, before I dated her. I'm trying to tell a certain side here, Dolly Parton and everybody else, that I neglect. I'm going on my way to record it. Like, okay, I thought starting in her about 2009, 2000, let's say by or before, definitely by 2011, and then progressively thereafter, I thought I was in love with Dawn. Dated her 2000. I was infatuated. I was in love. Thought she's articulate. Thought she protected kids. And in some cases, we were opposites. Like she was really outgoing, doing things. I was timid, insecure, and anyway. I'm just saying. I'll just try to throw this out there, that if you're somebody that has trouble sometimes saying no to people, let's just try to imagine. I'm gonna make examples out of some of y'all here, and I'm not trying to do it in a mean way. Let's take, Travis Cleese engaged to Taylor Swift. Let's take Miley Cyrus's fiance, drummer, roommate, Max Miranda. When they're more famous than you and way richer than you, and if you're somebody that's naturally a people pleaser and or insecurity, like I'll flip it back on myself, like Dawn, not the Dawn that was last here, Brianna Larissa's mother. I had trouble saying no, and even farther back, like in high school at times, when people would ask me things, boy or female, boy or girl, I'd have trouble saying no in some cases when I knew it was in my best interest to do so. And here's what's bad though. Sometimes if you're prone to let people take advantage of you, or you don't stand up for yourself, in some cases it's like Dawn, she can be the type to take your last dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's all about her. Dawn has never gotten me a gift to this day. And I have spent a few $1,000s on her. Probably so many thousands in 2013, so many thousands in 2016. And no telling what I've done for her at other times. Even after we broke up and while she was dating Daniel, latter half of 2013, soon after I got that interlock device taken out of my Nissan Frontier, I won't be asking Miley Cyrus to get me one of them. Unless or until I quit being confused and where things are set better straight, or more clarified. Anyway, aside from Miley Cyrus, I wouldn't mind to have a decent, well taken care of 2010 Nissan Frontier, standard edition, parked in my yard, crew cab. I'd rather that than a Corvette, a Camaro. You damn right I would. Unless somebody's going to do it and they're going to be like, I would use the Camaro for a little while. I'd rather a Camaro than a Corvette. I really don't care about that. But, I'm a pickup guy, really. A mid-sized pickup guy, really. A little bit of a full-size truck. I'm not even that good at backing up a trailer, but I'm a little bit of a tractor guy. Mid-sized tractor. I don't even have a desire to use one that much. I like a chainsaw. I'm not good. I can't believe I broke my chainsaw. I need my monies. I want my monies. I want to own my estate clean and clear. I need to find out, Federal Trade Commission, International Criminal Court, what, I'm shifting gears here, what James will deserve. Does he deserve the rent? I might agree to that. Well, what is he, a flat $6,000 a month, $6,500 a month. What's he going to do? What does he deserve? On behalf of the Mike Huckabee, David White, Steve May, Mike May local community, just to pop the water from over there. I don't even know what his son Matt looks like. They're probably pedophiles. Does his son Matt got a wife? I want to know. Ivanka Trump, Melania Trump, Chelsea Clinton, Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey. I want to know who's all used my sperm and with whose eggs. What do you think? Our Texas governor's wife, Mexican, Hispanic. Anyway, and I'd get more money a year off of probably just selling the water and they're doing rent. I don't think they deserve to have this property. even via sublease. I thought President Donald Trump saying America first. Well, y'all are putting CG rocks in first. You're betraying the natives. You're betraying the 14th American Amendment. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. Matthew 6:10. Anyway, Dawn has never gotten me a gift. Brianna, born 1982, not much of one. But she was a lot more peaceful to live with than Dawn. Other than her leaving, lying, and doing drugs. Leaving, lying, doing drugs, and running back to her ex-boyfriend. Betraying me. Without getting into her human trafficking qualities. Does she live with any kids for me? How would I know? Can anybody prove if Chris Young is a sociopath? Anna. Is Chris Young a child molester? Ivanka, did I read, was that accurate timing or something years back? It said 8 hours ago that you were in New York, Ivanka Trump, doing a deal. Or did I read it on a wrong timeline? Or not read it, watch it, listen. It very well get into the book of Daniel. She won't continue to be his. I have to look that up online. What it? Yeah. Anyway, Travis Cleese, Max Mirando. Sometimes men can be not necessarily overachievers, but over pleasers to the women in their life. And sometimes women, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, can put unreasonable expectations on a man. And a lot of times with certain women, if you look at it, it'll be all about them, all about what they want. They'll want you to do for them, but they won't do much for you. And believe me, I know. Think about Dawn, the one born 1983, the one that texts me. I wish I could get a magazine going. Oprah Winfrey, you want to help me get a magazine going? An offshoot of your magazine? A much cheaper one. Only with the organic smells. I won't say Miley Cyrus Productions like I used to. Okay, I was going to say, get some of my text messages printed. Either a magazine or a book or something, or booklets. It'd be neat. Or even a booklet that's with advertisements in it. I don't know. If we all agree on my restrictive covenants, Acts chapter 15, verses 28, 29. Who's the biological father of that girl that I saw Pat Walker on Facebook with when he's at Chick-fil-A? If they were for sale, I don't know, it'd be a really weird thing. I'd have to know about how they survive. If I was able to buy in this area from Mena to Glenwood, reasonable to Malata, if I was able to buy, say there's some fast food joints, and you can independently own them and still have the host supplier bring this stuff, it'd be the Subways. I don't know what other touches I'd try to put on it. Maybe something with pizza or something, or Italian or Mexican. I don't know. I'd try to keep it simple, where you don't end up having to deep fry, or shrimp, maybe oysters. I don't know. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna have to throw on my shorts. I'm curious about that. Maybe I got enough internet here. Didn't I look this up farther back? And it'd be like almost $1 trillion to do that on Walmart. Whoa, that's too much money. 8 to 10 billion. Wait, to buy the entire Subway Corporation and make it private would cost billions of dollars, with reported valuations around 8 to 10 billion in early 2023. But see, here's another thing. It's like if you could own all or most of them in Arkansas, that would probably be less than a billion. That's too much money just But see, where I'm getting at, I almost would rather do that. Like, Elon Musk spent 40, if I had that kind of money, instead of spend, um, 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 like 40 billion on Twitter to become X, 40 billion, I would try to buy that. See, that's not that much money for compared to Walton's 8 to 10 billion. I already told them it's going to cost them 5 billion. I've been saying that for 3+ years if they got a kid for me. In other terms too, if I get to. See, now it would be. See, I really don't want much out of the 12,000. If I was wealthy, I might. I mean, I might would spend. If I depends on where my wealth was. If say if I had Miley Cyrus's wealth, or say I was 160 million, I'm still comparing her. Damn it. Uh, um, um, Maybe it depends on how many I got. I might would spend so many millions to own a number in Arkansas, maybe North Louisiana, maybe in Texas, maybe even areas in North Mexico. I mean, I probably wouldn't like. Well, I wouldn't go up to. I don't think I'd spend up to. On the other deal, I might would spend. It depends on where my wealth was. If my wealth was like Elon Musk, I might spend up to 500 million to own it. If I was going to own way bigger in this area between here to South Texas, maybe I'd have to know more behind the scenes. I have no more behind the scenes, and well, like where do they get their produce? Can you still like, I don't know, would I have the freedom to do whatever what I don't know. Could you even still just let it have the logo, call it a Subway, or would that get you in trouble? I don't know. I don't know. Would you have to change the name? Would you have to end up spending a lot more money? Like, oh, now we got to take down the. Well, what was I saying before? Like Molly's subs and salads. See, look at the timing of that. How much did I talk in the past so many weeks? I was like Molly's gas and grocery, and then she pulls that on me. And they're like, oh, but you're just trying to get her to spend her money on property in this area. So look, let me tell y'all this though, folks. If I hadn't, January a year ago, no, January 2 years ago, I'm listening to Miley Cyrus, re-listening to interviews. I'm like wanting to find somebody online to listen to, talk to, because it's hard for me to find content at times that I get interested in, and so I start listening to Molly more, and then soon as I'm doing that, her and her drummer move in together. I find out in April. I think the little bastard's playing to Satan. I think he's got boys out there putting ideas in his ear to mess with my efforts. Numerology, little bigot, little evil, little bastard. I don't know. I think he's evil. I think something evil about him. Am I allowed to say that? Miley Cyrus said he stings like a scorpion. I don't know what she meant by it. But anyway, y'all just think, I've been without internet past 6 weeks. I was talking about Miley Cyrus buying properties in this area. The old Black Springs Country Store, Narrow Store, the Bonnerdale Store. And I kept saying Miley's Gas and Grocery. I gave all these talks, got really specific. And in my mind, I gave Dolly Parton advice on things. Even like Dolly's truck stops. I was actually pretty damn serious. Oh, I even got deeper than that. I was like, Dolly, farming, eggs, poultry. Dolly, I told, because when I went to Walmart however many weeks ago, the day I bought this phone, barely a week ago, if that, I see Dolly's got some makeup in there for sale, like almost $30. And then right after I saw that, Walmart radio played Flowers. And I mean, before they said it, oh, and I'm talking to Dawn. I'm saying, I'm talking to Dawn, the one I've never dated, and I bring it up. I'm like, what's Dolly doing? Trying to compete with Miley on the Maybelline deal? Anyway, Dawn, I say something about Dolly Parton, and I say something about Miley Cyrus, and then Dawn says, she's like, Miley's got nothing on Dolly. And I said, that's her godmother. And she's like, do you still say she's your wife? Right before they played Flowers, or right after it. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it'll come out. And I'm trying to think. It's like I'm wanting to prove to people. It's like I'm wanting to prove to Kidbury. And Dawn's like, I'm not crazy. It's kind of like this woman making the allegation that she's Miley Cyrus's biological mother. And if she's telling the truth, I don't blame her. Oh, here's something I was going to say. And I thought I was going to go to the deal over there to say it. I want to know her motive. Like, if she tried to do a breach of contract, I have to know more of her side if I'm going to condemn her. If she's trying to profit off of it, I'd have to know if she remembers a verbal agreement. But even then, they'd say it wouldn't be valid because of a minor. Did she have a legal guardian sign off on that? There's probably no paper trail of this. If this woman was the legal adoption. And apparently she said she is 14 when she was, I'm presuming, almost 13. And it's her braces made her look older. But if she's just wanting proof and validation that she's part of a gang lifestyle, I would like to know what type of gang. Was it Aryan Brotherhood? Was it biker? Was it skinheads? Because apparently she was around some decent people that are, I don't know if I would say, okay, the pattern, if she's telling the truth, she's going around these rich people, either trying to find somebody to take care of the child, or she was hoping to profit off of it then. But if so, it could have been whatever man was escorting her around was hoping for that. It's like, you don't want the baby. So I'd like to know what the motive was then. Like I've been told Christy, who used to live up here some, I have to know how much, I think it deserves to come out. But if they want me to spank her ass, I have to know the motives. But if she's really wanting validation of I'm telling the truth, I'm not trying to mess up anybody's lives, if she's really not trying to profit off of it in a greedy way, then you're going to see me spanking Billy Ray Cyrus's ass and Tish Cyrus's. And like I told you yesterday, I'm thinking at this point that Billy Ray Cyrus has never had a biological child. I'm thinking all three of the youngest of the five have all been adopted. And don't forget, 2 Peter chapter 3 says the works will be exposed. Oh, what's that? Is that a flatbed or just no bed on it? So anyway, what I was going to say, also, I've been talking past so many weeks about, I guess, Miley Cyrus trying to help me build the city of truth. I've been thinking going on 2 years that Miley Cyrus is in love with me, wanting to marry me, and it may be true. We'll figure it out. She's confused. I don't know. Has she even got where she prays yet? Does she know Jehovah God yet? Hopefully she will. I thought in Cold Blooded she said it was going to be hard to put God bless us in it. Why was she trying to do that? I think she's gotten rejected too. Didn't she have a shipping address in California, hoping I'd show up at one of her properties in California and live at the shipping and receiving property? she may feel rejected that I'm not running to California and I don't give a damn about California and I don't know, anyway, some other things. Avoidant personality disorder and passive aggressive at me. I'm not wanting to talk about it a whole lot right now, but in case I do upload this somewhere. Anyway, just think about when I didn't have the internet or a phone working, all the things I talked about in the past so many weeks about Miley Cyrus properties in this area. And then so I'm talking in a new way. I'm doing it really specific and bringing up Dolly Parton. And I finally get the internet and I look and bam, public engagement. Not even a month ago. I bet he hates my guts, Max Miranda. How many times has he seen me naked? I almost don't want to think about that. Him doing that with Molly. And if she's thinking if she's thinking it's supposed to be a trio, that's a no go. That's a big no. This man does not do that. Ultimately, my job is to teach God's word. Or to set matters straight. Anyway, what I was talking about that text message from Dawn I dated in 2016, before we dated in 2016, on her birthday, May 2016. She's talking about how her stepdad killed herself in Texas. First name Elvis. She even texted me. I know where I was at. I was at John and Debbie's before I took my fifth cousin Jason home. I was north of the four-way stop in that single-wide trailer they rented from Jim and Claudia. I'm saying first names only. It's after dark. I was expecting to hear from her because she'd already set me up that she's going to come out of Missouri. I already sent her money up to Missouri to get the Kia van fixed and got her one of them Verizon flip phones. She's going to drive without a working phone. I got her to do that. She's with her supposedly then ex-boyfriend Daniel. Then after she got down here, she went in a hurry to get with me. She's the one that got it started. See, that's where women, they didn't put you in a position of stress. And she'll do it with her ex-boyfriends. Y'all read Psalm 45. But anyway, so I'm at John Debbie's. I get this incoming text on my 3651 because I haven't heard from her. She's like, "Oh, I just got out of the hospital. I've been dealing with this for hours." She's like near Kirby or Langley, wherever it was, said Larissa got bit in the face by a pit bull or some dog. And she's like, "I just found out the guy that done all that to me when I was younger, all that stuff to me, he killed himself in Texas." So if there could be like a booklet or a magazine of my text messages from certain times, like 2016, 2017, 2018, before and after Jody Fogle died, 2020, before and after my mother died, it would speak volumes. Melania Trump, Ivanka Trump, American FCC, American IRS, America, United States Supreme Court. I'm thinking about 800 billion or $1 trillion. Did I look this up in the past? I'm just curious. And sometimes I like to crunch numbers. You see, 917 billion, almost $1 trillion. I'm not wanting to do that. Now it'd be closer to $1 trillion for Samsung. You know, buy out all the outstanding shares. Probably over 1.2 trillion. No, I'm wrong. Huh. What, more than what? 493 billion to over 510 billion USD. But they have a revenue that's bigger than Walmart? I don't know. They have a very big revenue. Where I've read like bigger than Apple and Amazon put together. Big. Um, um, I don't know if I'd want to do that or not. Not that I'd have enough money. Like Scotty's private investment firm. Huh. Damn, 17 billion to 18 billion. And I hate giving these ideas out there to people a little bit. I'd have to know more. Sirius satellite radio. You don't want to do even or even do it. Start it out a month. Build on it a month to 3 months. Y'all don't want to get some motorhomes. Just keep it simple. Ain't got anything fancy. Parked in between state highway and the deal. Do some podcasts. I need some money. This woman that's claiming to be Miley Cyrus's mother. Let's invite her out and do a podcast. Miley Cyrus she's got her engagement to relic in. Come on, Nissan North America. I need something to do. I need some money. My dog needs to go to the vet. I need some medical things. I got court next month. I got the anti-American Danny Thrankill, CG Roxanne, Lion Pig Court, the Willie, Jessica. Can anybody find out what the officer Justin was doing the night that 18-year-old Jody Fogle died, please?
According to Clark, Pike County authorities said Woods' son Jody, Jojo, Fogle, 18, was shot and killed nearly 2 weeks ago. The killer remains on the loose. Woods' other son, Jace J. Fogle, 15, has been reported missing out of Monticello since nearly 2 weeks before his brother's murder.
What's the amproject.org? There's Paul Rudd. Yeah, I saw that movie. I can't remember the name of it, but where he played the school teacher and he's a gay guy. I was like 15, saw it in theaters with my mom in Hot Springs. It was my idea. Look at that cabin. Not even chinked. I wouldn't mind to have a cabin. See, I think on this Jeffrey Epstein thing, I think this Maxwell, and she may be a sociopath that's hard to interrogate and interview, but if it's doable, I think you need to find out through her, since Jeffrey Epstein's dead, what everybody's sexual preference is, what she knows, if you can believe her testimony, and if it can be backed up by a lie test. For Sunday alcohol sales, are they doing that? I need the Black Spring store, man. If I owned it, I wouldn't want to sell a lot of alcohol. But then the Big Fort people, y'all wouldn't like it. Let's come out. Miley Cyrus in recent news. I don't know how it does it. It'll do it here. So maybe she's lying. It says here, I haven't read, 19 minutes ago, wide open country. Jamie Lee pokes hole in her own Miley Cyrus lawsuit with failed interview. From meet cute to engagement, Miley Cyrus and Max Miranda's relationship. Y'all gotta understand, it does make me sick to have to see that and read it. From what I read, I don't know if I can do all the article on it, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not the one that got started with Miley Cyrus, but I don't guess. But and people locally will think I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got no proof. But ask Jonathan, does Scotty lie? Ask Larissa's daddy, her stepdaddy, Jonathan. I'm going to skim through it. Leah since asked the court to order a DNA test for herself, Miley, and Billy Ray. However, things have taken a turn. During a recent interview with the Daily Mail, Lee discussed why she chose the name Miley. I specifically picked the name Miley as soon as I realized I was pregnant because of all the miles I had traveled. I wanted a name. I already read this in something else. It's 19 minutes ago. It says the problem is Miley isn't Cyrus' real name. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's poking a hole there. Her interview with the Daily Mail has inevitably poked holes in her story. Not only did she get the name wrong, which is something you would expect a parent to remember. Come on, a less than 13-year-old that's been whether she's gang raped, moving around, come on. But she also claimed the Kardashians once offered to get her a lawyer. Lee claims she, might as well forget about reading it. There's no record of that being the case. This is just the latest turn in what is proving to be one of the more bizarre news stories in 2001. Miley loves this chapter of her life. Has been more private, the source told US Weekly. I'll say this. Are there any pregnancy photos of Tish Cyrus? Okay, to get to the bottom of it, are there any pregnancy photos ever of Tish with Noah, Miley, and the boy? Have there ever been? I'm starting to think Billy Ray Cyrus is sterile and never had any child biologically. But y'all gotta understand too what I've been through. For example, do a rundown here. The Dr. Michael Cogrove in 2019, when Brianna, born 1982, she made the appointment in the backyard. Okay, let me do a bigger rundown. Right before her birthday in 2018, she's back here using that bathroom, taking a shower after dark. Say on or about August the 2nd, 2018. She's like, hey, Scotty, come in here. She shows me a clot. She's taking a shower. She, in a classy way, barely opens up the shower curtain. She's taking a shower. She had got something that had come out of her vagina. She shows me this round, firm looking, like pale pinkish, reddish pinkish, smooth clot about as big around as the end of my pinky finger. And she's like, I know my body. It's an early miscarriage. I'm shocked. I'm floored. I said, oh my God, this can never happen again. I want my tea. And I even had trouble climaxing with her sexually thereafter. And y'all gotta understand, say this, Miley Cyrus, everybody else, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Paul Rudd, since Crystal in 2008, Brianna was who I liked sex with the most, just to throw that out there. When I'm comfortable, she's not leaving, we're not arguing, I'm not being cheated on or betrayed, because that's a turnoff. Like right now, I'm turned off with Miley Cyrus. I don't, my pattern, I'm still going through my pattern with what women do to me. I'm still going through it, and I've never even met Miley Cyrus. Hey, turn that car around. Bring that, what was that, a Ferrari? Let's talk. Let's go get some Jaeger. Need to go get groceries. How much money you got? Where are you from? Anyway, not many weeks or days after I filed my taxes on TurboTax in April 2019 on the Windows HP computer right here in the living room in the presence of Brianna. She couldn't see what I was doing, but she was wanting me to order lawn chairs right before I filed my taxes. I'm like decent lawn chairs that I later ordered on Walmart.com, them Camp King lawn chairs. Well, I tell her, I said, I'm not going to order it. And she's like, oh, it's getting warmer. Let's get some good lawn chairs for outside or down at the river. And I said, well, I'm not going to make any necessary purchases until I get my taxes out of the way. And anyway, I'm in the backyard with her, like right before May or like near the end of April, using a shovel, preparing some garden ground or my tomato plants or whatever I was doing. She's out there listening to music on her phone that I paid for. And she just, I won't forget this. She pops up and says, I'm ready to make the appointment for the tubal, meaning the tubal litigation. The Arizona woman might be crazy. I don't know. It's probably true. Surely Billy Ray's not going to be the biological father. So if this woman is the biological mother, surely Billy Ray Cyrus is not going to be the biological father. I think it's probably going to end up being true, but that's a tough one. Well, anyway, so Brianna makes this Dr. Michael Colgrove appointment right in front of me in the backyard. And I go with her, you say, to every appointment. The surgery was on June 28th, 2019. The follow-up appointment after that was July the 11th. She had 2 or 3 appointments, almost 4. At least 3 or 4 appointments before the surgery date. I'm led to believe the whole time it's a tubal litigation to prevent pregnancy and chronic miscarriage. On the very first appointment, she's out in the lobby at this Physicians for Women in Hot Springs, Arkansas, USA. What do you think, Bill Clinton? What do you think, Chelsea Clinton? What do you think, Ivanka Trump? What do you think, Melania Trump? What do you think, Governor Greg Abbott? And your Hispanic wife? America put last. Ain't it right? Ain't that right, Donald Trump? Is Venezuela going to prove to be the king of the South in the book of Daniel? Maybe. And it talks about the ships will show up and humble somebody, go back to his own land. That means after Americans enter Venezuela, then some other ships will show up and they'll be like, we're getting the hell out of here. We're done. I don't know. It does say that, though, somewhere in Daniel, chapter 11. It says the ships of Tarshish will show up and he goes back to his homeland or fights all the way back to his own fortress. Anyway, okay, so at the Physicians for Women, anyway, Brianna's out there in the lobby filling out all these papers, and then when we meet the doctor, he's this Dr. Michael Colgrove, this tall, pedophile, pale-looking doctor. He says to her, "You've had 5 undocumented miscarriages." I'm thinking, I only think of 3. I was told she had one in 2013 with Jonathan. She had one in 2017 with Jonathan. And then that what she showed me here in 2018. Either me, Jonathan, or Zach, Jonathan's cousin. And I had to discern that. This guy, this neighbor over here that lives across from CG Roxanne LLC here in Montgomery County, Arkansas, USA, the one married to Lacey, he told me Zach's his friend. Not talking about Zach H, talking about Zach C. They all about getting other people's offspring, I guess. That's the Arkansas government. And the Chad that lives off of Highway 70 in or near Glenwood, Arkansas, just east of Glenwood. A 70 East near McGrew Road. A sicko. Is he a sociopath? Does he do online pornography? Well, anyway, long story short, a woman did a pelvic ultrasound ordered by Dr. Michael Colgrove. I couldn't have seen the screen if I wanted to. He did lab tests on her. They took her out of the room. She said they urine tested her. She wasn't pregnant. She said they took 7 or 8 bottles of blood. In my presence, the Dr. Michael Colgrove said she had the MTHFR gene and the ADKNR, whatever gene. I don't remember it, Dr. Drew, how to say it. Dr. Oz. He ended up ordering another pelvic ultrasound that he'd done. I chose to not look at the monitor. His medical assistant, who said her name is Bree, she never went into the room with us until this second. She'd always lead us to the next room. As soon as we'd leave the lobby, the main waiting room, we'd get led to her door. Brianna would go in and weigh, and then she'd get up from her desk and lead us to the next room to go to before we would see the Dr. Michael Colgrove. Anyway, on the day of the second pelvic ultrasound, there's a chair in the corner. I sat there. Brianna had to dress out in a gown, no underwear on. While the doctor's getting things ready to do the pelvic ultrasound, Brianna is laying in her back on the examination bed table. this lady, his medical assistant, or whatever her job title is compassionately standing by Brianna, like by her left hand. I don't know if she's holding it or not. My brain's, I'm just sitting here thinking, observing it. I'm sitting down with a briefcase still beside me, sitting in a chair, like in a t-shirt, khaki pants, notepad in my lap, ink pen in my hand, like I've done every single time. Because I wouldn't have been able to remember these things the doctor says. So I went there with blind faith. President Donald Trump, RFK Jr., thinking I could trust what this doctor says. I hate Arkansas. I hate the doctors of Arkansas. I don't trust doctors in America. I don't trust politicians in America at all. That's a rape right there. I'll never get that trust back. I hate the CHI group. I hate the National Park group in Arkansas, USA. I hate them. I loathe them. I hope I get to sue them. And they keep bothering me. Think about when I had the blood taken out of my arm, August 26, 2025, when Sarah, the 5th grade English teacher, showed up. Well, anyway, Brevin, I won't say her last name. She already told me that she thought she had endometriosis. So while this woman is standing by her so compassionately, I say this out loud while the doctor's getting ready to do the pelvic ultrasound. I say, well, Brianna says she thinks she has endometriosis. And this woman just puts her arms down by her side and walks out of the room. I'll never forget it. So it don't even take, once he starts doing the pelvic ultrasound, it don't even take like 30 to 60 seconds, if that. I never looked at the monitor. Well, I looked once, right when he started. I just saw some like blurry yellow dots. And I thought, hell, I'm not going to look at this. She's probably got cancer. Like, I don't know how to identify it. I'm not going to, the doctor didn't say anything. I should have looked, I guess. I don't know. I would have known a lot more. As soon as he got finished doing it, he walked right up to me, shook my hand, and said, nothing cancerous or precancerous. Somewhere in this, like the last 2 appointments before the surgery day, the doctor said, he says, I'm to Brianna right in front of me. He says, I'm giving you 10 days of provera. If you don't start your period by Monday, call my office. He never explained why he was giving her the 10 days of provera. And stupid me didn't ask. I just read yesterday it could have been to prevent labor, could have been to prevent contractions. He was wanting to make sure the baby, she wouldn't go into labor so he could get the baby, I guess. I thought he was going to try to induce labor, because after he came up to me and said nothing cancerous or precancerous after the second pelvic ultrasound, I was relieved. I thanked him for being thorough and reached out and shook his hand. That's the second time I shook his hand. And he had a weak handshake. And just think, folks, behind the scenes, how many of these people know of me, this property, and how greedy they are. Like Michelle, who was in high school with Helen, calling me after dark in or about March 2020, talking about the doctor that went back to China that broke baby's arms and shoulders. Anyway, Brianna called from here the following Monday to tell the Dr. Michael Colgrove office that she didn't start her period. Well, later that week, when we're back before him, boy, it feels like it's getting colder. When we're back before him, he said, the lining of your uterus is very thick. You've not been ovulating for a long time. That's why your body didn't react to the provera. Well, anyway, on the last appointment before the surgery, he just brings up that he says there's a procedure that we do that's called an ablation. It takes 90 seconds to do. Some doctors do it awake. It's where we burn out the lining of the uterus. 50% of women never have a period thereafter. he never explained why he brought that up. And I'm at 55 minutes and 17 seconds. Well, anyway, fast forward to like October, November, early December 2019, after she moved out to her cousins in Piercy and Rocky. I'm on the standing daylight hours on the phone with her. I'm either on the 9138 number or 3651 number. And she says, I'm still having bad cramps. I want to go back to Dr. Michael Cogrove and get the ablation. And if you analyze my internet record that day from the 9138 number, I sent her a link about some horror stories of ablations out of Europe, women that bleed too frequently after they had that procedure. In conclusion, on the follow-up day, July the 11th, 2019, right in front of me, that doctor just looked at me. That's the only day I rode a scat van one way. He says, I got all that junk or gunk out of there. I hate America. That Dr. Michael Cogrove's sick. Is that the one Crystal used in 2008 for the cervical cancer? I want the American military out of my life. It's messing with my penis right now remotely. You're not, the owner of Apple won't put it in the news. Bill Gates won't put it in the news. Carolyn Levitt won't put it in the news. Isn't that right, Joe Rogan, Miranda Lambert? Isn't that right, Governor Greg Abbott? Nobody will put it in the news. CNN won't put it in the news. They mess with my tear ducts. They mess with my cheeks. And it says in the book of in Daniel, continually harass the holy ones. Isn't that right, Ivanka Trump? Isn't that right, Melania Trump? What did I see yesterday about Barron having connections with that Tate guy that'd been over there? Was it Taiwan? There goes the Ups truck. Nikki Brothers still drive one. America's dead. Name of the 14th American Amendment. Isn't that right, Billy Ray Cyrus? Billy Ray Cyrus, have you ever had a biological child? Probably not. It's going to come out one way or another. I promise. 2 Peter chapter 3.